There's a good reason why I used to panic at the sight of a swimming pool. It wasn't just fear, it was trauma. If I had a nickel for the amount of times that I almost drowned in a pool, then I'd have about 2 nickels. It's not a lot, but isn't it weird that it happened at least twice? In life, you just gotta learn how to swim. Because what if you're on a cruise ship and it sinks? Or what if Jason's chasing you to the woods and the only thing that'd stop him is a 1v1 triathlon or something? I don't know. The way most people learn how to swim is through lessons with a trained professional. You would think that would be a lot easier than just looking up how to swim on YouTube, but that's not always the case. I remember walking with my mom to the rec center to learn how to swim for the first time, and all I could see when I got in there was massive pools, like as far as the eye can see. And my mom was like, "Yep, you're gonna swim one of those." What? You gotta understand, there were other kids there around my age, they were swimming like they had the Olympics waiting for them. And I was just trying to learn how a swimming pool even works. At first, I was pretty disappointed that I didn't know how to swim already. But that soon cleared up after I started looking at their faces and seeing how much pressure their parents were putting on them to try to be great at swimming. Which sucked a lot because we were at the age where all we wanted to do was impress our parents. As I could start to feel the chilling stares they were giving me to the back of my head, I dipped my toe in the water and when I tell you, the water was so cold. Usually when you get into water, let's say a bathtub, the water usually gets pretty hot pretty fast. No one told me that pool water would be like negative 400,000 degrees. I just kind of expected it to be warm, you know? "I'm sorry, little one." What? And then she just tossed me in, like, what? Guess that's just how it goes. It was such a fulfilling life, you know? I went to school, and wait, I haven't even lived that long, have I? Oh well, all this chlorine in my budget lungs. After a long moment of what I thought was being dead, the coach finally believed that it was about time to pull me up. Why? Why did it have to be me? Come on, just let it. And I was just coughing up all the water I inhaled. Do I forgive everyone who participated in that incident? Nah. But most importantly, I knew that I never wanted to be near a large body of water like that ever again. But little did I know, this wouldn't be the last time it would happen. Around a few years later, it was stupid hot outside. And for Maryland, it was a good percent more hot than it is on a normal day. My cousins had decided to throw a pool party. And while my mom was driving me there, I'm like, is this really a good idea considering that last time I almost drowned? Oh, come on, stop saying that. You didn't almost drown. Yeah, exactly, because I was drowning. So when we got there, I decided that I was just going to be dipping my feet in the pool. Because I'm not about to look like a coward in front of all of them. But at the same time, bro, that thing unalives people. As I started to get up and get to a much safer distance from the creature feature that was the pool, I feel hands accelerating on my back, and it's one of my older cousins. And of course, I just had to be on the empty side of the pool, where no one could save me but myself. Now you're probably wondering, well, why didn't you just scream for help? Let's get something straight. I'm not the type of guy to scream whenever something gets scary. I might jolt or jump back from seeing a spider or a jump scare in FNAF, but I don't just make audible noises when something actually scary happens to me. And as my vision starts to fade once again, I feel a hand tugging on my arm, and it just so happens that one of my other cousins realized that there's a kid missing from the pool, and I'm not looking like I'm making the movements that a person should make to get out of that situation. And he ended up saving my life. Now, I wouldn't hate the cousin that pushed me in for the rest of my life, but the next time I'd see them, I'd probably be like, "I haven't forgotten your sins." And they probably wouldn't remember it because that was like 4 kids ago. But after that horrible experience, I had a bigger fear of the water than ever before. But enough time had passed to where when I got my next pool invite, I hadn't thought about it. Have we learned nothing? My friend's backyard pool was around the same size as my cousin's backyard pool, except it came with a level of elevation for kids and adults who didn't know how to swim, which was a big difference from just one large pool that was deep and only had a ladder in it. The mom of the friend who invited me to the party was like, "Wait, your son doesn't know how to swim? At his big age?" I was only like a couple years older than her son. You know, I could just teach him how to swim, right? You can? After a while of practicing, it kind of just clicked for me. I was actually doing it. I was finally doing it. I had mastered the And while I might not be an Olympic level swimmer, I can confidently say that I survived almost drowning multiple times, and I've finally conquered the water on my own terms. And when my child grows up and says, "Dad, I want to learn how to swim," I'm gonna say sure. I just gotta make a quick phone call to my friend's mom. Thank you for listening to my yap session about how I had a horrible time learning how to swim. I plan to at least drop a few more videos before the end of the year since I'll be in school and whatnot. So stay a while and see what's next. And until next time, see ya. Before I go, I just want to say, now that I know how to swim, you can bet that I'd know Diff Aquaman.